Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a video for beautiful pressed flour Shabbat cookies. This is what they look like. I think they're absolutely gorgeous and just perfect for Shabbat. Shabbat is all about celebrating the beauty of this world, and after all, the seventh day of rest came after the 6 days of creation, so bringing in elements of the natural world to me really enhanced the beauty of the holiday. I also love these cookies because they're super easy to make, really delicious, and really just fun. You can really be creative with them. Also, this video is part of my Summer Shabbat series, so if you're interested in learning more about the holiday or looking for more ideas on how to celebrate it in your home, then definitely check out the rest of the videos in my playlist. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mary and I make videos about being a Jewish mom, and I would love it if you subscribe. Okay, let's get into the recipe for edible flour Shabbat cookies. So this recipe is a super simple shortbread cookie recipe. All you're going to need is 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of butter, and vanilla extract, and that's it. Then to do the pressed flour component, you just need parchment paper, a rolling pin, and some edible flowers. I also use some basil for my cookies, which I thought was delicious, but if basil's not your type of flavor, you could use another type of herb or mint or whatever edible flowers you have growing around your home. The first step you need to do for the flowers is to put them between 2 pieces of parchment paper and use a rolling pin to flatten them down. You also need to do this to the leaves or whatever else you're going to top the cookies with. So the first thing to do is put the sugar and softened butter together in a mixing bowl and just give that a whirl until it's all mixed together. Next, you're going to add the vanilla extract. By the way, if you don't have vanilla, I've also used this recipe with orange juice before and it's really good. Then you're just going to add the flour. Mix it first with a spatula just so it's well incorporated before you turn your mixer on and spray flour everywhere. Also, by the way, you can definitely use a hand mixer for this recipe, but I just like the KitchenAid. It makes everything so much easier and quicker. So when your dough has come together, you're just going to make it into a ball with your hands, flatten it out on the surface. This dough is really easy to work with, so you don't need to worry too much about putting flour down. Then you're just going to flatten it out to about 1/8 of an inch with your rolling pan. Then use a cookie cutter or biscuit cutter to shape your cookies. And then the last thing you're going to do is press the flowers onto the cookie. To do this, after you've initially placed them and pressed them, take a piece of parchment paper again and use the rolling pin to make sure they're really into the cookie. You don't want to press too hard though, because you don't want the cookie to be misshapen, but you do want to make sure it's really pressed in. Another tip I have is if the cookies spread while you're doing this, you can again use your cookie cutter on the baking sheet and then just remove the excess dough around the cookie cutter and you'll have a perfect circle again. I found it easiest to press the flowers into the cookie once the cookie was already on the baking sheet. That way I wasn't pressing down onto a counter surface and then having to move the cookie again, so you might find it easier to work that way. Another tip I have is if they spread in the oven, which they sometimes do depending on the temperature of your butter and how long the dough's been out, you can use the cookie cutter right after they come out of the oven and again remove the dough around the cookie cutter and you'll have a perfect circle. Okay, so that is the recipe for my edible flour Shabbat cookies. I hope that you guys loved it and try it out in your home. Just remember that if you are pairing them with a meal for Shabbat and want to keep it kosher, then definitely serve a dairy meal, or you can try to add margarine to the recipe instead of butter, but definitely test it out first because the dough is a little bit different if you do it that way. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!